Now then, how you doing? You alright? Oh, finished work a couple of hours since, and Phantom F4 Revell 1 in 32 F4F that I'm changing to an E, as you know, or you might not know. I ordered the MRP paint the other day from glasses on HM Hobbies, and they're based in Hornchurch in Essex, and they even put a nice little handwritten thank you mark on my bill. 3 bottles of paint, and that came yesterday, so I thought, right, strike while the iron's hot, because Mark down at Club Mark Little, he borrowed an MRP Desert Pink off me and said, do you want a Desert Pink back? And I said, well, yeah, obviously. No, actually, no. Why would I do that? I'm not building a Desert Bird. I'm building a Southeast Asia Phantom, so get me a brown. And quick 5 minutes on Google, like you do, and I got an MRP 103 off him, off Mark, in exchange for that. But then obviously I have to wait, not obviously, then I have to wait for payday to come, because I work there, I don't own it, and 3 bottles of paint later from that company, and I can crack on. I've got an MRP 101, 102 and 104, because the MRP brown is 103, so it's 101, 02, 03 and 04. And your 01 is a dark green, SEA camouflage, which is a dark green. Then you've got your 102, which is a sea camouflage, that's just green. It's a lighter green. A 103, which is your brown, as I've said, and then a 104, which is your light grey for your belly. So, came in last night, and I'd already put the brown down. It's a nice tan brown. It looks alright, looks okay. I've let that dry, but MRP paint dries literally, you know, almost instantaneously. It's good enough that once you turn your pressure down on your compressor, because I can put MRP through between sort of 5 and 8 psi, it is that thin. And obviously I'm putting that down, and then before I've come across a certain browns the other day, and then before you know it, last night I'm putting the green on, and that's dried, and the dark green and the camo's done. Let's have a look in a minute. So I did that last night, and then I've come in back in tonight, you know, eager to crack on with the belly. Well, it was a toss-up really between doing belly and concentrating on the sort of clamshell, the back end with all the metallic paints. But I am having this bird in flight, and I do believe I have been told that the Phantom F4F/E got really sooty at the back because of the engines. So I am going to do it in a metallic colour, but then I am going to sort of give it some really thin coats of black, just to, you know, sort of make it dirty. Okay, eyes on. So the top scheme on your Southeast Asia Phantom is looking like that. So that's what I did last night. You can see that the brown is on, and then we've got the light green. It stands out better sort of round about here. Got the light green on, and then the dark green. Did the tail as well, and all the front end. The front end is black, so I didn't need to concentrate on that, but actually that turned out quite well. And you can see the size of this bird, Revell 1 in 32 F4, quite the piece. Okay, and then tonight I've come in and I've done the belly, which is that one. Now if I just offer that up, you should be able to see that I've left some of the pre-shading just barely visible. You can see the light spots and the dark areas and the browns that I've put underneath. Okay, and across the bottom end there I've got good demarcation, I'm just going to move my finger and point into there, so I've got a good line on, and then same at front, got a good line on. The old Tamiya tape done me well. And then just to flick that over again, your front end line and the back end line as well. Quite pleased with that. And while I've got the paint in the airbrush, I've obviously done the fuel tank, and I've done the tops and the bottoms of the stabilizers, those infamous stabilizers. It's absolutely 99.9% it's turned out an absolute bob on job, apart from I've got one tiny bit of paint peel that you can see there just in between my eyes. Can you see that? And that's where the masking tape has unfortunately pulled off a little bit of dark green, but it'll go over, absolutely no problem. So next is to do the black round the nose and up the front end for the anti-glare, which I'm doing. That's because obviously the F4F was a complete sort of like front end was the greens and the browns, but because this is an E, I'm putting the black nose on. So I'm quite happy with how that's turned out. It's definitely not a one-tone grey, and I've managed to do that very, very subtly just by putting some undercolour on. And again, the MRP is so thin, you can literally just, it goes down like silk. You can see that I've still got quite a bit of tonal variation in there. Okay, I know that my camera's probably not focusing correctly. If I touch this or bring it in, I can't do it. I did get a new phone, didn't I, about 2 months since, and it's not my favourite accessory at the minute. I got a Motorola, and I've always had Samsung. And I thought, oh, go on, I'll have a little bit of a change, and I've got this Motorola, and it's not the best purchase that I've ever made. So up here has been playing, hopefully, this is where I might trip myself up, a sped up version of me painting all that bottom end. Actually took 25 minutes to paint that belly, going into each individual panel and then putting a top coat on. If you've watched it, I hope I haven't played it too quickly for you, so that you can see exactly what I've done. I've been chatting to Dale down at work today, and we've been on about airbrushing because down at club that Dale popped down to on Saturday, I actually let him have a go, and again, that's one of the beauties of club. You know, we've got all the equipment, and Dale, a good mate of mine now that I work with, he's like, oh, you know, I got him a couple of tanks at Christmas and he's built them up, but the one that he wanted sort of finished, I painted for him in here, and then I've given him it back. And Dale sort of lives 20 mile away and he's not driving, so I'm saying, you know, you need to get to club, you need to get to club. I would if I could. So actually on Saturday, I stuck my neck out. I went all the way to Leeds from where club is, picked him up and brought him to club, and he brought a kit down to have a little play with, and that were good. And he's chatting away with all the lads and meeting everybody. And then because it was club extended day, as the day has sort of progressed and people have started to drift off, the air station became clear. And I said, right, come on, get your ass over here. Let me introduce you to airbrushing. Dale has seen quite a bit of my work. In fact, he's seen all my work. And he's seen the Tornado that I finished off a couple of months since. And obviously, you know, when it's somebody who appreciates what you do and how things look, and when it's an outstanding piece. And when you get a kit like that and you've done it right, and people are going, that looks brilliant, and it's almost like how can I say, it's good feedback. Obviously you appreciate that, but it's almost like diluted feedback. if you will. I know I'm trying to explain myself. When you put a lot of time and effort into a piece, if people can't see what you've done, then they just say, you know, that's a cracking piece. Allowing Dale to do some airbrushing on Saturday and just have a practice. We've got a test mule down at club, a little piece of old kit it is, and you know, I sat with him and I showed him, and down for air, back for paint, and watch your pressure and watch your needle tip dry and all that sort of stuff. And I let him have a go for half an hour, 45 minutes. And then we sort of wrapped it all up then, you know, because club were coming to a day. Then we had Queen's funeral on Monday, so I didn't see him on Monday. Tuesday, back into work, and there he is. And did you enjoy your weekend? Loved it, mate. Da-di-da. And I said, oh, did you enjoy your airbrushing? And he said, yeah, very, very much so. I've got it. I know what to do, which is, it's kind of quirky, really, that I've got a guy that's just a little bit older than me that has never picked an airbrush up in his life, and he's had the opportunity to put paint down. And I said, you know, did you enjoy it? What do you think? And he went, absolutely loved it, mate. Just thank you so much for the opportunity. Because it's not every day that you get to do that. On our sort of scale of things, when you're saying, oh, you know, I'll let somebody have a go of an airbrush, it's, as a bloke, and I don't mean that in a sexist way, but it's sort of like, you know, if you're popping down and you see somebody with an air rifle that's doing a bit of plinking, and oh, do you want to have a go, mate? And you're like, chuffing hell, yeah, that's brilliant. You have half an hour with an air rifle in your hand, and you're like, first thing that you want to do, yeah, thanks a lot, mate. And honestly, first thing you want to do is, I want to buy one of them. I'm going to buy one of them. Because it's just that thing that you get. And I said to him, now you've had a go of airbrushing, think back to the tornado, what did you think? And he went, now I totally get it, mate. Absolutely, totally get it. So that's a thumbs up for me. We talked about airbrushing techniques, and it's not like spraying a car where it's psht, psht. Dave Housecott's going to get me for that one. On off. It's a more focused, concentrating kind of thing. Okay. Painting individual panels and then trying to give it a top coat that blends it in, where you are still showing some of the work that you've done underneath. Otherwise, let's be honest, that's absolutely pointless. Unless you can control that finger, unless you can control that finger down and back, pre-shading and pre-painting is a complete waste of time. If you can't control that, then there's no point in doing it. Okay, but that's turned out absolutely spot on, and I'm very pleased with the work. So what's next? Obviously, I'm going to keep going with this. I have got the back end to do, which at the minute you can see is all taped up. Okay. All right. So you've already sort of painted that in the metallics. No. Now, if you remember, what did I do? I did something a couple of months since. I'm just trying to think whether it was it Concord? I can't remember. But I basically painted the metallics down, and then I covered it with masking tape to do the rest of the piece on the painting. Come to pull I'll tell you what it was. Oh, I've remembered. It was Andy Norfolk's Starfighter. All that back end is all engine. It all looks absolutely superb in metallics. And I couldn't wait to get that painted. So I'd painted all that in the metallic colours, blending blues, oranges, aluminium, steels, gunship this, gunmetal that, the whole lot. Put the masking tape on it, obviously, to protect it. Come to peel the masking tape off once I'd painted the actual bird, and it'd taken half the metallic off. And you remember stuff like that, which is why I've left that metallic to do until after. I won't actually tackle that until I've sort of put some more greens and browns down to blend it in very, very subtly. Did a little dance for you there. I can see a little bit of olive drab going on the top, just to blend those greens a little bit more. They're just a little bit too stark. I'm looking over here, I've just been buzzed by a fly. They're a little bit too, what's the right word, abrasive, a little bit too, you know, in my face. And I need to tone those colours down a little bit. So what I shall do is I'll go back to my paint stash, my MRPs, back of my glove, and just, you know, start just to sort of blend it and just to mix it up a little bit. Then it's onto the black nose and the anti-glare panel on the front. Once that's done, I'm going to gloss the entire bird, top and bottom. Then I will peel the masking tape off and do that sort of metallic area down at the back. Once I've done that, I won't gloss that. Okay, the AK metallic paints that I use don't really need a gloss coat on top. They don't need it. Okay, and then once that's done, that's literally all the painting done. The armament's done, fuel tanks are done, stabilizers are now done, engines are done, flaps and slats are done, everything's done. It will then literally be a matter of, like I said, glossing it, and then it's literally waiting for another month then for a decal pack. This month, it's September now, so this month is paint month, and I will get it to a stage, and then it'll be shelved yet again until October, when I'll get a decal pack, 10-15 quid decal pack. Okay, but I haven't decided which one I want to get yet. Once that's done, I still haven't finished, because I am going to mount this bird. I'm not going to tell you how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to mount it obviously in flight. So once it's all deckled, which is another month away, it'll be matte coated and pin washed and streaked and striped and absolutely everything else that you can imagine, just to sort of like emphasize it up a little bit. Okay, and then after that it's the Lank special kit. That's really, I've got something really nice plan for that one. Okay, that just about wraps it up. Thanks for watching my little update on my Phantom. I think it's cup of tea time. Okay, oh, and a shout out, I had a chap put a comment. In fact, I've had a few comments actually. I never get comments on my videos ever. I get like 5 or 6 thumbs up. Them's off me mates. Do you know what I mean? Funny as all. But I've had 12. I've had 12 comments on my last video, and one of them writes at the end, you know, we love your videos, daddy, and I love that. I absolutely love it. And then he's put, you know, keep going, mate. All the best from Illinois. I'm like, Illinois? I'm sure that's in America. Do you know what I mean? It's funny this. I'm going to wrap up then, but I'm just going to keep going. It's funny because, you know, when you're watching the great people that do the modelling with studio setups and different cameras and one thing and another, and obviously it's inspirational. It's not for intimidation. I'm absolutely sure that they don't do it to intimidate your average builder like me. But I was thinking about it today at tea time, knowing that I'm going to do this tonight, and sort of like trying to think of a best way to explain this. What I do in here, because it's my garage, right? I do exactly the same as what you lot do when you're building and painting and sub-assembling and turning models out. I do exactly the same as what you do. The only difference is I turn my camera on to record, and that's it, which is really funny. Okay, so thanks for the comments on the last video. Feel free to leave a comment. Okay, I'm not going to start fishing for likes and comments and shit. End of day, you can watch it. If you don't want to, if you think, I wish they'd shut up, jog on, mate, that's absolutely fine as well. All right, no drama. But what I will say is, thanks for watching. If you've kept with me so far, we're up to 21 minutes that I've managed to keep you entertained, and we'll just keep going. We'll take it from there. All right. Thanks for now. Catch you later. Cheers.